Hello, everyone. I needed to send out this update to you just so that you're aware of what's going on. I talked to the players about this tonight at practice, so they should be aware. But I want to make sure the parents were aware of the situation as well. Um, Yesterday, I met with Mrs. Borland, our athletic director, and she told me that at this point we had had 4 out of the 8 teams that we were supposed to play for the JV season cancel, or they weren't going to have a season at all, or for some reason they weren't going to be able to play. So that left us with half of our games eliminated. So I met with the coaching staff last night. We looked at the numbers that we have for the JV team, which were at about 20 only. 7 of those players were currently have an F in at least one class, which would mean that they would be ineligible if yellow or red cards went out today. So we decided to make the really hard decision to go ahead and cancel our JV team this year. But what we can do, the AIA last season um, changed the rule and modified the rule in regards to the lower level. And so now I typically say freshman teams. That's what we've always done, but it's really a freshman sophomore team. So that some people call it Frosh Soph or 9-10, whatever. So what we're gonna do is at the end of next week, or sometimes toward the end of next week, we're gonna take some of those 10th grade players that have currently been practicing with us, and those guys are going to go and work with the ninth graders. Coach Castaneda is also going to move down and work with those guys as well. So, um, uh, and then the remainder of the 10th graders will continue to practice with the varsity team. So, some of the things we talked about last night, obviously the numbers. Personally, the number 20, as in 20 players on the JV team, if everybody's healthy and everybody's eligible, we still only have 20. That number feels almost to the unsafe point to me. That means that a lot of players are playing literally every snap of offense, every snap of defense, and every special teams. I don't like that situation at all. It also makes it very difficult to run an efficient practice when you can't even do a full scrimmage during practice with only 20 players. And again, that's assuming that everybody's eligible and injury free, which is a very infrequent occurrence, unfortunately. Um, so, and furthermore, we didn't want these kids to be showing up to practice every day, working hard, and then getting to play in only half their games, or getting towards the end of the season and either they don't have enough kids on their team to play, or the teams towards the end of our season are canceling games on us. That feels to me like it would be hard if I was that kid. It would be hard for me to stay motivated, hard for me to want to come out and work hard every day, knowing that I may not have a game this week. And so my goal and the other coach's goal is to get kids playing football and to get them reps as best we can. And so we decided that the best way to do that would be to split the sophomores up. Some of them are going to go to the varsity team. Some of them are going to go work with Coach Pridgeon and Coach Cervilican, and Coach Castaneda and Coach Harrison. So there'll be some familiar faces down there for them. Um, this is not something that I wanted to do, not something I anticipated doing, but our numbers were such that this is what I think is the right thing to do. Also, with the schedule situation, almost felt inevitable that it was going to, if we didn't do it now, it was going to happen later. And I'd rather make that move right now and get those kids working with their teammates that they're going to be on the field with, so that they can be as successful as possible and get the most reps as possible and improve as much as possible as a player during this season. So thanks for your time listening to this message. I'm sorry that this is what has come to pass, but I hope that you trust that we as the coaching staff have every kid's best interest in mind, the team's best interest in mind, and it was just a lot of this situation was out of our control. The number of players showing up to practice, and then the possibilities of games being played. Not a lot we could do about that. So thanks again, and if you have any questions, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, or maybe I did mention, I don't know, so I'll reiterate if I did. But next week we'll let all the sophomores know which group they're going to be practicing with and playing with in the future. So for now, until that happens, it's the status quo. The kids are still going to come and work with the same format that we have been doing so far this week. And then, like I said, towards the end of next week, we'll make those decisions and let those kids know where they need to go for week 3 of our practices. Thanks, and have a good weekend. And thanks, and have a good weekend.